this is in the book on page 83. Same chart, although I've put in some different nets here. We've skipped the delay net and jumped straight to an AND net. This is an AND net here. Down here we have an OR net. And we have another AND net here. What's the difference between the two AND nets? This one's A and B, but this is A and C. Remember, we let A stand for Ann is home, B is Betty is home, and C, I guess, can be Charlie is home. So this means this will fire if and only if both Ann is home and Betty is home. And we'll get to OR, we'll do all this. So when Ann is not home, we have a 0. When Betty is not home, we have a 0. And so this unit is only listening to A and B, and it needs the threshold is 2. So you need a 1 in both places. So we're going to have a 0 here. And you need a 1 in both places. So you're going to have a 0 here, a 0 here. And then finally we get a 1, right? So when Ann and Betty are home and Charlie's not, who cares about Charlie, right? Ann and Betty are home, then this thing fires because we get a 1, and a 1 adds to 2. That meets or exceeds the threshold. The weights, by the way, are 1. And so it fires. Now in this case, nobody's home. Well, Charlie's home, but this gate, this net does not care. This is not enough. We do have 2 1s, but it's only listening to A and B. And so we have A, that's 1, B is 0. 1 plus 0 is 1, that's not enough, right? And not enough, and then we get a 1. So this only says, yes, Ann and Betty are home in the 2 cases in which they're both home. In one case, they're both home and Charlie is not. In the other case, they're both home and Charlie is home. And that exhausts all the logical possibilities. Notice that we go from nobody home, and then in an ordered way, following binary convention, all the way to everybody's home. These are the signals on the input fibers. Here are the input fibers A, B, and C. Okay, now let's do OR. OR is easier to get to 1, right? All you need is 1. So we have a 0 and a 0, and so 0, that's not enough. Where do we have a 1? Right here. So 1, right? Here we have a 1, 1, right? This, you call and say, is either Ann or Betty home? And the person says yes. Well, that means either Ann is home, maybe Betty's not, or Betty's home, maybe Ann is not. Or remember, this is inclusive OR. If they're both home, you can say yes. Not exclusive. Now this is a 0, right? Who cares about Charlie? And this is also a 0. Whoops. That's not right. Then we're doing OR. And so get my pen working again. This is a 1, right? Because Ann is home. Betty is home. And then everybody's home. Okay? That's how OR works. Now let's do AND, but not for Ann and Betty. Ann and Charlie. Is Ann and Charlie home? So look at this. Take a moment. Figure out, where should I put a 1? And you're going to be looking for, it's got to be an Ann and a Charlie. And so in this column right here, I'm going to put a 1, right? And in this column, I'm going to put a 1. Everywhere else, I should have a 0, right? Because I need both of them to be home. Now here we have 2 people home, but we don't have Ann and Charlie home, and this is Ann and Charlie. Okay, what's going on here? That's a 0 and a 0. Okay. Yeah, I'm digging that 4th grader handwriting. No, it's not even 4th, it's like 2nd grader handwriting. All right, I hope that helps.